Dear students, now let us go into the concentration of ore. That is second part in metallurgy, concentration of the ore. Concentration of the ore may be carried out in several methods depending upon the nature of the ore. First method, gravity separation. Gravity separation. It is mainly for oxide ores which are heavier. Gravity separation, or otherwise it is called as hydraulic wash. It is usually for heavier ores, gold ore, hematite, tin stone. Such ores can be considered by gravity separation. Second one is froth flotation. It is mainly for sulfide ore. Froth flotation method is for sulfide ore. Then third method is leaching. Those metals which can readily form soluble complex, or the salt may be soluble. Such substances can be concentrated by leaching. Then fourth method is magnetic separation. So these are the four methods of concentration of ores we are going to see. It is for heavier ores, it is for sulfide ores which can form froth, it is for ore which contain metals that can form complex salts, they may get converted into the form of solution. This is for ferromagnetic substances. Now let us go one by one. Gravity separation. It is nothing but washing. Even when we wash rice being heavier, when it is washed, the dust particles will be carried away by water. Likewise here, in gravity separation process, when it is washed with fast moving water, the ore which is having higher specific gravity will remain, and lighter impurities, dust particles will go away. Those impurities will be having lower specific gravity. That method is known as gravity separation, and it is used for the concentration of gold. Gold usually available not in the form of compounds but with other impurities. And then hematite ore, iron ore, hematite Fe3O4, Fe2O3, and then tin stone, SnO2. So these ores are commonly concentrated by gravity separation process. Second method is said to be froth flotation. Froth flotation. This is for sulfide ores which can easily form froth. They are usually water repellent. Sulfide ores. What are such ores? Galena, zinc blende, such sulfide ores, even copper pyrite, such ores can be concentrated by froth flotation process. Here in froth flotation process, we need frothing agent like pine oil, frothing agent like pine oil, eucalyptus oil are used. And along with this collector, sodium ethyl xanthate, sulfide containing compound. So what we do here in the froth floating processes, we take powdered ore, maybe galena or zinc blende ore is powdered well. The powdered ore is mixed with water pine oil, eucalyptus oil, collect a sodium methyl xanthate, and it is fed into a tank. There may be a feeder here at the top. We are adding the sulfide ore, water, frothing agents, collector into the, so it is filled with this. And there is a stirrer to mix, and the air supply can be made from the top. Here waste materials can be taken out from here daily. What is happening when we send in air and when the stirrer is also functioning, froth will be formed. How is it formed? The sodium ethyl xanthate makes the ore water repellent, and these frothing agents make them to move into froth, because they are also making more or less the same thing. They make the ore to become water repellent and get attached with oil. So along with the oil, pine oil and eucalyptus oil, the ore particles move at the top in the form of froth. It may be collected from the top. The froth mostly contains the ore. Since the ore is being water repellent and it is attached into the oil, goes into the froth, and concentrated ore contains maximum of froth, and impurities will remain in water and it will be collected as tailing from here. This is how the sulfide ores are concentrated by froth flotation process. And apart from this, sometimes the ore may be contaminated with two sulfide ores, but we may be in need of only one metal. For example, we may be in need of lead, but it may be contaminated with zinc. Here in such cases, we use what is called depressing agent. The depressing agent, when used, what it will do, it will make one component to go into the solution. When the compound go into the solution, it may not be water repellent. It is getting dissolved in water. It cannot become froth. So if we have galena and zinc blende mixture and we want to get only lead, we want to isolate only lead, we want to concentrate only galena ore, in such cases the depressing agent, either sodium cyanide or sodium carbonate, depressing agent. The depressing agent is sodium cyanide or sodium carbonate. When it is added, what is happening? The zinc sulfide forms a complex with sodium cyanide. Zinc sulfide, ZNS, reacts with sodium cyanide to give the complex what is called sodium zinc cyanide. Na, Zn, Cn 4 times. It is Na2. How do we write the molecular formula for the complex? It may be difficult for few, but it is simpler. Zinc, oxidation number of zinc is 2, plus 2. But coordination number is 4. That means it can coordinate with 4 cyanidoligands. It is ligand. In coordination compounds, we will be seeing that it is a cyanidoligand. It can make bond with 4 ligands. So compulsorily ZnCN4 we should get. That is quite obvious. Alright. The charge on cyanidoligand is -1. 4 cyanidoligands. Therefore -4. Totally -4. The total charge will be +2. -4 +2 +2. -2. Total charge will be -2. Therefore, outside the coordination sphere, we should have a counter ion with +2 charge. The charge on sodium is +1. It is alkali metal. It is present in first group. It has got only 1 electron in the outermost shell, NS1. Therefore, it can lose only 1 electron. Therefore, it is monovalent cation. 2 such monovalent cations, 2 Na+. Therefore, Na2. So, it forms such a complex. Once such a complex is formed, zinc sulfide will not interfere with lead sulfide. It will go into the solution. Zinc sulfide will go into the solution. We can concentrate lead sulfide. In the froth, we will be getting only lead sulfide. This is how, if an interfering sulfide ore is present, it can be separated. That is froth flotation. So, in froth flotation, what are things we have seen? To concentrate the ore, it is powdered well. The powdered ore is mixed with frothing agents like pine oil, eucalyptus oil along with water, and it is feeded. Air at high pressure is sending, stirrer is rotating, therefore froth will be formed. To encourage froth formation, we are using sodium ethyl xanthate, which makes the ore water repellent and go into the ore, go into the froth. So when we collect the froth, it will have concentrated ore. Suppose if we have mixture of different ores, and if we want to separate, isolate only one ore, we may use depressing agent like sodium cyanide or sodium carbonate. In the case of mixture containing lead sulfide and zinc sulfide, and if you want to get only lead sulfide ore to be concentrated, we can use depressing agent. Sodium cyanide, if it is used, what will happen? It will form the complex with zinc to become sodium zinc cyanide, and it will go into the solution. This is how, by froth flotation process, the ores are concentrated. Next method of concentration is leaching. Let us go into the third method, leaching. Third is leaching. In leaching, we are converting the metal present in the ore into its soluble complex or solution. The insoluble impurities are removed in the form of gas. There are 4 methods in leaching. First one, cyanide leaching. Cyanide leaching. Second one, ammonia leaching. Third one, alkali leaching. Fourth one, acid leaching. Depending upon the nature of the metallic ore, different methods of leaching are employed. First, let us go into cyanide leaching. Cyanide leaching is so important for gold as well as silver. They are usually in the native form. They are not in the form of compounds, but rocky materials, siliceous materials will be present in those ores. The gold or silver present in the ore is being converted into its cyanide. In cyanide leaching is mainly for silver and gold. Those ores can be concentrated by cyanide leaching. The ores of silver or gold are treated with dilute solution of sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide. Sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide. Aerated solution. Dilute means we will be having water. Aerated solution therefore will be having oxygen. The metal may be gold. If we take gold, the gold will combine with the cyanide solution, Na plus Cn minus, K plus Cn minus, cyanide solution, cyanide ion, along with water and oxygen. They become cyanide complex, gold cyanide complex. AuCN twice. AuCN twice is the gold complex. Plus hydroxide ion. Already we have seen in froth flotation method, we have seen zinc cyanide complex. Here it is gold cyanide complex. The charge on gold is +1. Coordination number for gold is 2, therefore 2 cyanide oligons. 2 cyanido, the charge on cyanido is -1, 2 such cyanido we have and therefore -2. Total charge becomes -1. So the charge on the complex ion is -1. We have treated the gold ore with aerated dilute solution of cyanide. Now cyanide complex of gold is formed along with hydroxide ion. How to balance this equation? We have 2 oxygen, here 3 oxygen. Oxygen and hydrogen are present only here. We need even number of hydroxide ion, only then it can be balanced, as we have even number of hydrogen here. So make it 2. 4 hydrogen, 4 oxygen, therefore 4 OH. Now we can balance the charge. 4 negative charge plus 1, 5 negative charge. I can write 5 here, but cyanide cannot be balanced, as we have even number of cyanide. If I make next higher even number 6, what will happen? 6 cyanido ligand, 6 cyanide ion. When it makes 2 cyanido ligand, if I put 3, charge will become 7. Therefore, it cannot be balanced. Next higher even number is 8. If I make 8 cyanide ions, here it becomes 8 cyanido ligand. That means 4. 4 minus, 4 minus, 8 minus, 8 minus, balanced. 4 gold, therefore 4. Very simple to balance the equation. 1 oxygen, 2 water, 4 gold, 8 cyanide ion. 1 double the number 2, double the number 4, double the number 8. Here equal number of complex. The name of the complex not needed now, but in coordination compounds we'll be seeing, since it is anionic complex. Whatever may be the complex, we have to start with naming the ligand. 2 ligands, therefore di. The name of the ligand is cyanido, therefore dicyanide. The central metal is gold, but it happens to be anion and therefore it should end with 8. The metal name should end with 8. It is Rm, therefore R8. Oxidation state for gold is +1, therefore first. So that complex we are getting, it is in the form of solution. Impurities will be removed. Those impurities may be mostly aluminosilicate will be mostly impurity. The gang here may be aluminosilicate. Which can be removed. It is gang. It is the gang present in this ore. Now, we can precipitate gold from this complex. How? By treating it with zinc. AuCN2. When it is treated with zinc, it becomes ZnCN 4 times. Why so? Coordination number for gold is 2, but the coordination number for zinc is 4, that we have seen already in fourth flotation. Depressant sodium cyanide will make zinc to become this complex. How to balance this equation? What will be the charge? Gold +1, each cyanide -1, therefore -2, total charge is -1. But here it is +2, zinc +2, cyanide ion -1, 4 minus we have, therefore 4 minus, total charge -2. Plus what else will be getting? Gold will get precipitated. So how to balance the equation? 4 cyanido ligand, 2 cyanido ligand, make it 2. 2 gold, therefore 2, balanced equation. This is how, by cyanide process, we make gold to go into the solution. After making the gold to go into the solution, remaining impurities like aluminosilicate in the form of gangue removed, and from the solution, from the deaerated solution, already we have passed air, now we are deaerating. After that, zinc is added, so that we get the precipitate tetracyanido zincate. tetracyanidozincate, the charge, the oxidation number 2. Since anion, it should end with 8, therefore tetracyanidozincate 2 we are getting. Along with that, gold is precipitated, and this method is known as cementation. Why cementation? We are collecting all the gold particles in the solution in the form of precipitate, and therefore it is said to be cementation. All right. So next method of leaching is ammonia leaching. Next method is ammonia leaching. Just carefully listen, try to understand. Very simple, concepts are so simple. Ammonia leaching. In ammonia leaching, we convert the metal into ammonia complex, thereby converting it into the form of solution. This method is suitable for ores of nickel, copper, cobalt, etc. Now we pass ammonia at pressure, at high pressure, into the concentrate ores of nickel, copper or cobalt. They form complexes. Coordination number for nickel is either 4 or ammonia. Now it forms hexammine nickel. We will be knowing ammonia is a neutral ligand, no charge. Nickel plus 2 charge, therefore it is a cationic ligand, cationic complex. And copper will form tetraamine complex because coordination number for copper is 4. Ammonia neutral ligand, copper charge plus 2. So total charge will be plus 2. Cobalt, coordination number 6, it forms bond with coordination bond with 5 ammonia molecules and 1 water. So the ligands are ammonia and water. Ammonia neutral ligand, water neutral ligand, cobalt charge plus 3, therefore plus 3. Now what may be the names? Hexammine nickel, because it is cationic complex. And the counter ion, outside the coordination sphere, the ion in the outer sphere, you will be getting negative ion, and therefore it should get the name hexammine. The ligand ammonia is named as ammine, nickel, charge on nickel plus 2, therefore second. Likewise here, tetraamine, copper, charge on copper 2, therefore second. Ion, it is an ion, it is an ion. Here, pentaamine, aqua, only 1 water. The ligand water is named as aqua. The 2 ligands have to be arranged alphabetically. A, both starts with A, M and then Q, therefore amine and then aqua, pentamine, aqua, cobalt, charge on cobalt 3rd. That's all. So these complexes can be removed. The impurities gang present are mainly ferric oxide, iron 3rd oxide. Iron 3rd oxide is called as ferric. Iron in plus 2 oxidation state ferrous, plus 2 oxidation state ferric. And then iron 3rd hydroxide, that is ferric hydroxide. And then aluminosilicate, as we have seen in leaching of gold by cyanide method. There also we have seen aluminosilicate as gang. So these materials are removed in the form of gang, it will go into the solution. That is ammonia leaching. Next method is alkali leaching. Third method, alkali leaching. Third method is alkali leaching. In alkali leaching, mainly the ores which can form soluble salts or soluble complexes can be concentrated by alkali leaching method. Here we may take the example of bauxite, which is the ore of alumina, ore of aluminium, bauxite. With that, sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate. The bauxite ore is nothing but alumina with hydrated water, maybe X water molecules we can say. With the bauxite, sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate is treated. At the temperature of 470 to 520 Kelvin, 470 to 520 Kelvin, at 35 atmospheres of pressure. When the bauxite ore or any ore which can form complex with alkali may be treated so that the metal will become complex. Now we are taking bauxite as an example. Aluminium is going to be converted into its complex with alkali, sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate. What is happening? Alumina reacts with sodium hydroxide to become sodium metaaluminate. You may be knowing sodium oxide and aluminium oxide is said to be sodium metaaluminate. Sodium metaaluminate, which can be written as NaAlO2. NaAlO2. Two molecules of NaAlO2. Sodium oxide and aluminium oxide put together may be called as sodium metaaluminate. If it takes up water, we will be getting NaAlOH 4 times, as the coordination number for aluminium is 4. NaAlOH 4 times we will be getting. How many water molecules are associated with this? Can you guess? NaAlO2, with that 2 more water molecules are added to become NaAlOH complex. This complex we are getting. So alumina bauxite with the sodium hydroxide forms sodium metaaluminate. Sodium metaaluminate then takes the water to become NaAlOH complex. So when bauxite is treated with sodium hydroxide, Al2O3 plus NaOH plus H2O, you will be getting NaAlOH 4 times. How do we get this molecular formula? Aluminium oxidation state plus 3, hydroxide -1, 4 into -1 -4, total charge -1, therefore outside the coordination sphere +1. This is how we get the molecule NaAlOH 4 times. This is the complex we are getting. How to balance the equation? It is alumina Al2O3 with that Na2O and water. Na2 and water. Here we need how many such water then? 3 more water. 2 water here. 1 more water we have added. NaO along with 1 more water, NaOH, plus 2 more water, 3H2O. We get balanced equation. How? 2. If I make 2 balanced equation. 2 sodium, 2 aluminium, 8 hydroxyl groups. 6 hydrogen, 2, 8 hydrogen, 3 plus 2 plus 3. 3 plus 2, 5 plus 3, 8. Therefore, we are getting the complex. It is called as sodium metaaluminate because with the water we are getting this complex. What may be the name of the complex? Sodium tetrahydroxido aluminate third. Sodium tetrahydroxido aluminate third. So along with metallurgy, we are learning coordination compounds also. Now, from the solution, we have to get alumina. that is done by passing carbon dioxide gas into it. So the hot solution, we are treating this at this temperature and at this pressure. The hot solution is decanted and then cooled, diluted. Into this we are passing carbon dioxide to neutralize. It is alkaline. It is alkaline in nature. To neutralize that we pass carbon dioxide. What is happening? It is sodium metaluminate. As I said, this molecule may be considered as sodium metaluminate plus 2 water molecules. Or sodium metaluminate is nothing but sodium oxide and alumina. When it is treated with carbon dioxide, what is happening? Alumina is formed, Al2O3, with the necessary water molecules. I can write again XH2O plus the sodium oxide part or sodium hydroxide part get combined with carbon dioxide to become sodium bicarbonate. So how to balance the equation? Al2 therefore 2, 2Na therefore 2, 2 carbonate therefore 2. Water need not be balanced as we have written only XH2O. That's all. So we have got pure alumina. The impurities can be removed. This alumina, when heated to about 1670 Kelvin, at this temperature when we heat, we get pure alumina, maybe without water. And here the common impurities are gang present in it are mainly iron oxide and titanium oxide. Iron oxide and titanium oxide are the common impurities, that is gang, which can be removed. That is about alkali leaching. Finally, fourth method is acid leaching. Fourth method is acid leaching. Acid leaching. Acid leaching method. In acid leaching method, we use hot aqueous solution of sulfuric acid. When we treat hot aqueous solution of sulfuric acid, what is happening? Into say the zinc blende ore, zinc sulfide ore. When hot aqueous sulfuric acid is added to it, the zinc sulfide reacts with sulfuric acid along with the air to give zinc sulfate. Zinc get combined with sulfate to become zinc sulfate. Sulfur is precipitated, water we are getting. 2 oxygen, therefore 2 H2O. 2 sulfate, therefore 2 zinc sulfate. 2 sulfur, therefore 2. That's all. So zinc is converted into zinc sulfate solution and sulfur is precipitated. That is said to be acid leaching. So these are the 4 methods of leaching by which we can concentrate the ore. Depending upon the nature of the ore, we have concentrated. In cyanide ore, we have concentrated silver and gold. And then next to that, in ammonia leaching, we have concentrated nickel, copper and cobalt. And then in alkali leaching, we have concentrated bauxite, alumina ore. In acid leaching, zinc sulfide. Now, let us go into the last method of concentration, namely electromagnetic separation or magnetic separation. Magnetic separation. Fourth method of concentration is magnetic separation. It is for ferromagnetic substances. The magnetic separation method is for ferromagnetic substances. Here we have magnetic rollers, maybe electromagnetic roller. This wheel may be magnetic, electromagnetic. And the ore may be fed from here, ore to be concentrated. It should have ferromagnetic substance. When it is poured, well powdered ore, when it is poured, the belt is rotating like this. The wheel is rotating, therefore the belt is rotating like this. The ore is flowing this way. The magnetic substances, sometimes the ore itself may be magnetic or impurity may be magnetic. It will move like this. The magnetic substances fall near the heap and the non-magnetic substances will fall away. It can be collected separately. So this method may be employed to concentrate tin stone ore from what is called wolframite. It is nothing but iron, manganese, tungstate, wolframite, tungstate. It is magnetic. The impurity is magnetic impurity. So what will happen? If tin stone ore along with wolframite impurity is allowed to fall on the electromagnetic rollers, the impurity will fall here. The ore will be collected here, non-magnetic. Tin stone will be non-magnetic, it will be collected here. On the other hand, if we want to concentrate chromite or pyrolusite, chromite, ore of chromium, pyrolusite, manganese, these ores are magnetic. Siliceous materials, sandy materials are non-magnetic. So here the impurity is non-magnetic. In the earlier case, impurity is magnetic, ore is non-magnetic. In the next case, chromite and pyrolusite are magnetic. And therefore, when such ores are placed, the magnetic ores will be collected nearer to the electromagnetic roller, but far away you will be getting non-magnetic siliceous material. By this way, we can separate magnetic, ferromagnetic substances. If the ore contains either ferromagnetic impurity or ore itself ferromagnetic impurities are non-magnetic, in such cases they can be concentrated by magnetic separation.